water, wells, and women. What? You say? I said water, wells, and women. Now, what do those have to do with each other or anything else we might discuss here on Morning Minutes in the Bible? Well, they are three ties that bind three very important people. First is Jacob. Fleeing his brother's wrath, he stopped at a well and met the woman who would capture his heart and change the history of the world. Genesis 29 reveals how Jacob reacted when he saw Rachel. It was legendary love at first sight. He jumped up and watered a flock, kissed her, and wept aloud. He then sold himself to her dad, exchanging 7 years of labor for marriage to Rachel. When Laban tricked him with Leah, he hardly blinked before agreeing to another 7 years of labor for Rachel. Rachel's first son then was Joseph, who would one day save the whole family. Next is Moses. After rejecting the riches of Egypt for the slave nation of Israel, he had to flee for his life. After crossing the wilderness, he arrived at a well, rescued 7 sisters, and watered their sheep. Among the women was Zipporah, who became his wife. That's in Exodus chapter 2. Her family and home became his. You might say she saved his life too. Finally, there's Jesus. John 4 records his stop at Jacob's well in Samaria. While sitting there, a woman came for water, and Jesus broke with tradition to ask her for a drink and then teach her about the water of life. Jesus exposed her heart, prompting her to call the entire village to come hear the Messiah. And because of his words, the villagers believed that Jesus was the Savior of the world. Most men today are focused on wine, women, and song, and are indifferent, contemptuous, or even abusive toward women. These 3 men stand out as starkly different. But Jesus stands alone by giving living water to a woman from whom he wanted nothing. He wanted her to believe and be saved. 3 ties that bind us all together, or should bind us all together, are Jesus, faith, and salvation. Do they bind you to me and us to one another? I hope so. And I hope you're bound to these studies. Until next time, this is James McClenny, hoping you have a great day.